Hi, welcome to Aloha Gardens AZ. Uh, Join me. I'm going to collect some of the branches of the pea eggplant to try planting it in my other garden front side to see if it will survive. So these are the cuttings. Yeah, these are the cuttings that I trimmed from from that tree. That's the pea eggplant. It really grew big, and I trimmed most of the branches. So it will also give light to the bottom garden. So I'm going to experiment if these branches will grow. If I'm going to stick this one in the ground, because I tried it in the pot, and it's already some of the branches that I stuck in the pot for like about 3 weeks ago, and there's one that's about 1 month ago. It's already start flowering. So I will try this to plant in the I have there the southwest garden. I will try this one because there's already a pea eggplant tree there, and I want to make like a lane of pea eggplant, so it will give me a good shade on that side of the garden during summer, because it's really hot there. So, and this a garden here, this is the north side garden, first layer of my garden tier here. I'm going to clean this and fill up more compost soil. So I have a good size branches here, cuttings. So I will pick the good size, like about like that's not a thumb size, close to a thumb size, maybe pointer finger size, or thumb. No, it's not thumb size. I have a thumb size branch or cuttings, so I will try to plant that one, and I will observe it. It will give me another tree. But you know, that's what I do here in the garden. Experiment and find it myself if it if it uh, it will grow. That's the part of gardening, finding ways how to plant and how to grow different plants in the garden. But this is my first time trying this, because at that last last branch that I trimmed out from the volunteer tree, um, I get the big size. That's a good size branch, and I just want to try if really going to grow in the pot. So I will show you that it's even flowering right now. I'll post this first and continue. Here it is, the potted the potted cuttings that I tried to plant in the pot, and it's alive. See, it has a new branches, and here's another one. That's the second pot, and there's another one. So they really have a new growth like that. It's like the moringa cuttings, that it will give you a new growth and that will be your new branch. I really try to just to observe. See, it's growing, it's alive. So I'm happy that it really survived. I tried 3 branches just to make sure that at least one survived, and in this spot, yeah, one survived there. And in this spot, there's one survive. And this one, there's one. So at least really, one cuttings out of 3 that I planted survive. So, this give me an idea that I'm going to try to plant it in the ground, because if they grow in the pot, chances is they will grow also in the ground. Because there are other gardeners that asked if they can buy seeds, and that's what I told them, that I'm going to observe that if I'm going to plant it in the ground, it will grow, because these are the cuttings that I tried to plant in the pot, and so far it's growing. So this is still under observation because winter is coming. I want to see if they are hardy enough to survive the winter, and by March I can sell cuttings to those gardeners that want to try to plant it. So that's it. I'll post this again and check the this is like 3 weeks old cuttings that I plant in the pot, and as you can see, they are really surviving. So that's a good sign. I will show you the one that's already 1 month, and it's already flowering too. So here it is, the first cuttings that I really tried to put in the pot. See, it has a good growth already, and it's flowering. It's already flowering. That's just one. So yeah, because winter is coming, so I'm going to observe that and to see if that will survive the winter here in Arizona. So hopefully my other fellow gardener can have it and add it to their garden, and enjoy the fruit, to try it. It's not poisonous, guys. It's edible. Okay, I will post it again and show you where I'm going to plant the branches that I cut. Okay, on this garden, this is the southwest garden. Southwest garden, like the facing south, but the side here is west, so southwest. And this is the side of the garden where I planted mostly of the moringa cuttings. This is like an experimental garden, and like 85-90% of the cuttings that I planted here all survived. So that tree is from the cuttings that I planted 2 years ago, same month, and mostly all of this is already like 1 year old, and they are surviving. Some of them, most of them are flowering. They get confused about our fall weather that feel like spring, so they're flowering. And here, this is the pea eggplant. This is the pea eggplant that it's like same height as me, so it's like 5 feet. high already. See the fruit? That's edible. Yes. And I wanted that in the side, in the perimeter of this garden, I'm going to plant the same eggplant. And when I tried to start the eggplant, this eggplant from seeds, I think obviously I mix it with a different variety because I know this is not the pea eggplant. This might be the same white eggplant that I shared to my fellow gardener, Telma. This is the one that I give you, and I thought really was a pea eggplant. That's why I planted it here, and it's not. So now, previous batch, there are few survivor. This is a pea eggplant. Look at the leaves. This is the leaves of the pea eggplant. See that? And see the difference of the other eggplant? They are the same eggplant but not the same variety. Right? So I'm going to stick the cuttings there. This is pea eggplant. It's already flowering. I planted this one last spring. So to give you an idea, if you plant around spring, it's already a seedlings. So if you plant a seedlings springtime, at fall, it will start flowering. So if that's March or April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, about 8 months, it will start to flower. So means production we're going to start, but only it will get disrupted because our season is changing. It won't produce during winter time because it's cold. And here, this is the wall of our the backyard. But here's the end. So I wanted to have a lane of pea eggplant on this end of the, like, a side of the garden. So it will, when it gets taller, it will give shade of the bottom plants. It will help the garden to have its own microclimate because it's really very hot here. It's full sun during summer. And here, this is not a pea eggplant. That's the same eggplant that I give to Sis Telma. And she got the white eggplant. And hopefully, if this pea eggplant cuttings that I try to observe here, to just take it in the ground and water it, then wait. If it survived, because the one in the pot that I planted there, it survived. So here's my cuttings. So I'm going to clean it, make sure that they look nice, and not going to get because sometimes some cuttings are not that well cut, like this one. I'm going to clean this, clean this one. I'm going to clean that from there and bury that in the ground 2 to 3 inches below, so you have a good size of the cuttings to give you roots. And then I'm going to mulch that with a steer manure, so another 2 inches will cover that one, and hopefully it will really going to survive. But I'm going to update on this if it survive, because if it survive, it will give me a new growth, a new branch. So I'll post it again, and I'll show you after I stick this in the ground.